Last Saturday was the deadliest outbreak of violence Libya has seen in around 2 years. 32 people were killed, more than 150 people were injured, and the whole thing has a lot of people really concerned about the possibility of a return to an all-out war in Libya. That casualty toll includes civilians who are caught up in the fighting between militias that back two different governments and their two prime ministers who are vying for power in the country. Tensions between the rival prime ministers and their backers had been rising for months before the fighting actually started. And while it might sound strange, it's actually nothing new for Libya to have more than one government or leader claiming to be the legitimate authority in the country. Libya was actually supposed to have presidential and parliamentary elections last December. It's part of a UN-backed transition process that ideally would have ended up in one united government. But those were postponed, it seems indefinitely for now, because the various sides couldn't agree on the rules, including who was eligible to run for president. Among the candidates were people who have been accused of war crimes and fairly serious human rights abuses. The fighting in Tripoli only lasted a day, but the underlying issues remain. So a flare-up or a full-blown war really isn't out of the question. The last serious war in Tripoli, which forced hundreds of thousands of people to flee their homes, it ended in a ceasefire in October 2020. Libya honestly hasn't seen much in terms of real peace or stability in more than 11 years, which is when Gaddafi fell. It's also worth noting that when civilians are killed, when atrocities happen in Libya, there isn't a real mechanism for accountability. New bodies were uncovered just last month in Tarhuna, a Libyan town that was controlled between 2019 and 2020 by one of Libya's many militias, this one known for being particularly brutal. We're talking about enforced disappearances, murder, and torture. These allegations in Tarhuna and across the country, for the most part, have not been dealt with. And many find the idea of a truly united Libya, of reconciliation, difficult to imagine without some sense of justice, not to mention truth.